Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Tech for Dummies. I'm your host, Dustin Tanner, sitting next to my co-host, Darren Quick, and we are back after our semi-hiatus. We have a lot to talk about today, from anything from Home Depot to Apple to, some unfortunate celebrity passings. So sit down, get some popcorn, and enjoy another great episode of Tech for Dummies. Welcome to Tech for Dummies, the show where two dummies, one dummy, covers a bunch of tech news. Like always, I'm your host, Dustin Tanner, sitting next to the other host, Darren Quick. And, we've been off for the first thing first is acknowledging that we've been off for a good, a month, 2 months now? So what did you do in the last month or 2 months before we get to our rundown?
Not much.
Not much?
Been busy as heck.
Yeah, I know. Darren and I normally like to do a show once a month, but we weren't able to get one in last month because between him and I, we were really just flat out too busy. So that being said, I'm good to see you. I haven't seen you in a while. It's good to be back. So what is the rundown of stuff we have to talk about today?
All right, starting off, mostly we'll be talking about the Apple's big announcement. All the rumors about a new watch has been silenced this month. After this announcement, yes, they are doing a new Apple Watch is no longer called iWatch.
Apple Watch.
Samsung's new big announcement was also this month. They are having a new Note, which is their new Fabit, Samsung Gear, which is their version of the watch, and a new VR virtual reality helmet. Home Depot got hacked this month by the same people who hacked Target and Nordstrom's. Sad news in our Entertainment for Dummies for Robin Williams and Joanne Rivers. They both passed away this month. And of course, Apple iCloud 2 also got hacked. What do you want to start off with?
Well, we have a lot for Apple stuff. We have a good amount for Apple stuff. So the thing we should start out with is, let's talk about the Home Depot hack. So what do we know about the Home Depot hack? You said it was hacked by the same people who hacked Target, that is your story. Darren, go ahead, go off on it.
Get back up, I had it up.
Now, from what I know is that Home Depot got hacked. Could be the biggest card breach ever, according to ABC News. That was about 7 hours ago. And, if you look at the effects Target has had, Target's sales have gone right downhill ever since they got hacked. You got to wonder for Home Depot, a chain that's already kind of struggling with the emergence of Lowe's and other chains around America, if this hack's going to be a nail in a coffin. What do you think?
Yeah, it might be, though they might survive. Like Target, it really hasn't. Even though they've gone down, they still haven't really gone bankrupt yet, or nobody's cried foul yet here.
Well, when it comes to those types of things like getting hacked, it scares people because, I haven't shopped at Target and I haven't shopped at Home Depot, so I don't have to worry about getting hacked. But it's like, you'll go to a Home Depot now and you will think twice before you swipe your card. And, like always, cash is your safest bet. And if cash never gets hacked. And I'm sure someone can prove that statement wrong, but, it's kind of scary to see, hackers targeting these organizations. And personally, I have no reason to go to Home Depot. I don't have a house. I'm not going to have a house anytime soon unless if I win the lottery. Come on. But it's not a good thing for your business, and it makes Home Depot look bad. Another thing about Home Depot, unrelated to the hack, is they will no longer be a NASCAR sponsor after this year. They have decided at the end of 2014 they're cutting their sponsorship for NASCAR, so they will no longer, for the first time in my lifetime, there will not be a Home Depot NASCAR, which is kind of shocking.
Yeah, it is.
What else do you have to say about the Home Depot stuff? Anything?
Not much, other than it. Like I said, what I've heard through what I have read, it's the same one. They'd hit Target, but what I'm concerned is if they've. This is what, the third or fourth one in 6 months?
This year?
This year?
I think.
I mean, how much longer would it take to stop these people from doing it?
I think hackers are going to hack. Taters going to haters going to hate, hackers going to hack. It's just a matter of being safe. And if you're as safe as you possibly can be and you get hacked, okay, well, whatever. But it's all about the minute you get hacked of stop shutting it down. Like, shut your debit card down. If your debit card got hacked, shut it down. And I think when it comes to those types of things, it's just kind of like one of those things where as long as you're safe about it, you're not going to suffer. And, banks will refund hacked purchases, I don't know what the term is for it, but banks will refund those types of purchases. But, I pretty much don't know what else to say about that except for that it is what it is. So, moving on to something else, Samsung's conference. I'll let you talk about this because I hate Samsung. But I have a Samsung story for why I hate Samsung. So you go talk about them.
Yeah, I've already heard of why you hate Samsung.
I've never told you the VCR story, have
yes,
I? No, I did.
The VCR.
I'll
DVD.
tell the VCR story again. Anyway, Samsung's announcement.
Story. Samsung announcement is they announced also that their new Galaxy Note 4 is out with a few neat upgrades. One being a rounded edge on the phone, so now they got an extra toolbar along the edge where you can swipe more clear, swipe a little bigger. The bigger edge. That's all they ain't really said much because right now it's still out there. They're waiting for carriers to pick up to give you the price of it. So we don't know the price, but yeah, it's their announcement this week, along with their new Samsung Gear, which is their new version of the watch, and this big clunky thing on your wrist looks like something from Dick Tracy or Knight Rider.
Knight Rider, there you go.
So it's but it's a pretty good, going to be a pretty good watch. But the problem is a lot of people say, "Oh, it's too clunky looking. It's too big and fat looking." But when we get into iWatch,
we'll talk about that.
We'll get into Apple's version.
So
of it. We'll talk more about it.
I think that was a good time to rehash the Samsung story. Did I tell this story on air? I don't think I told this story on air. I'm pretty sure I didn't tell this story on air. We'll pull up our old shows. So back in the old days of when I was 5, so this is what? I was born in 1994. So this is about 1998, 1999. We had a Samsung DVD VHS 2-in-1 box. It ate one of my favorite Thomas the Tank Engine, not DVDs, videotapes, and it would not spit it out. Being the fact that my family's, a little poor, we just the DVD player still works, so we use a DVD player. Then one day the DVD player went. So what we did, after only having this for 7 months, it was a piece of crap. We took it out in the field, took our nice Nissan 1985, 1990 truck, and ran it over, backed over it again, ran it over, and before that we smashed it a little bit, Office Space style. I saw that over the summer. And we just destroyed it. And ever since then, I've never used a Samsung product unless if it was given to me. And I will never buy a Samsung product because that DVD player crapped out on me. I will never buy it because of that damn DVD player. So,
all right.
That's pretty much my Samsung story. So what's next on our list?
And they're also with the Oculus Rift, they're having this new neat VR virtual reality helmet where you can use your Samsung Note and strap it to this helmet, and you're in a virtual reality world. And you can still be able to see. It's not as clunky as you think it is, because you still be able to see what's going on in the world. So you're not totally blind behind this camera. You still see what's going on in the world. It's going to be pretty. I think it's going to be pretty neat here in a few more years that we might be able to do. Virtual reality might be able to catch up to reality vision.
Just keep talking. There's nothing to see here. Absolutely nothing to see here. Keep talking.
Virtual reality world that, who knows the difference. We won't be able, pretty soon we won't know the difference between virtual reality and reality. But also in the medical field, this is going to be great. Comes
distracting you over here. It's great when we can make advances in society. Talking about virtual reality. I got these at the Art Hop. I'll talk about the Art Hop a little later. But if you twist your neck, it feels like you're on acid. But I think anything that can help the medical field is a good thing, and something like a virtual reality, any of those types of things are good things. And I don't know enough. Yawning. Been up since 7:30. How long have you been up? Thinking, no, I don't know enough about this to
I don't know much
talk about it.
Neither do I, but I just thought it would be kind of cool that, hey, look, virtual reality is starting to get closer.
Which is awesome until somebody uses it to do terrible things. But anyway,
Yeah.
I think that's pretty much what we have it for the first half of our show, except for, what else did you want to mention? Did you want to mention the two celebrities in memorial here? Would we like to do our entertainment for dummies now, since we're doing Apple for dummies in the second half of the show?
Yeah, let's switch it to quickly do entertainment for dummies. This last 2 months, as of August and this month, we've lost two famous, well-known comedians. One via suicide because his demons told him to do it, and the other one because of a heart attack due to
plastic surgery, unconfirmed.
No, it was a laparoscope. She went down there. Someone was shoving the camera down her nose.
I don't know.
Down her nose, and that caused her having a heart attack. So yeah, one was Robin Williams. If you didn't know, he died as a suicide because his demons finally got the best of him. And Joan Rivers died the heart attack.
The Robin Williams death was a big, it was a shocker. It was the Highgate movie in the park night, actually, that it happened on, because I was up there setting up our big screen, and then I just found out about it, and it's really depressing. There's Mark Maron is my favorite comedian, and a few years ago on his now famous, he does a show out of his garage called WTF, Mark Maron. It's a podcast. It's gotten huge in popularity, but a few years back, before it got huge, he had Robin Williams on the show. That was his first really big guest, and I went and listened to the episode after, and in a guy like Robin, you see a great comedic genius, and when you see these great comedic geniuses, a lot of the time, there's a lot of darkness inside. The best comedy that I've seen, comes from that dark place. Yeah. You can't just have somebody who's had la-di-da-di-da-di, perfect life, perfect family, perfect this. A lot of these people have had issues, and on this interview, I urge people to go listen to it. It's a premium episode, but I think he released it for free because of his death, and he talks about his demons, and he talks about some of the things that he does, and he talks about his cocaine, And
that's one thing about he was not shy about anything. He was adamant to let you know about his drug use and everything else.
One of the things that made Robin Williams a great comedian too was that he never really shied away
from anything,
from those topics.
No.
Like, he has a whole bit about cocaine. Like, he talks about, you might have a coke problem because, you wake up and, you have a dream about cocaine, and then you wake up and you're doing cocaine. Like, you have a coke problem. Like, some of his, and he's one of the few comedians.
My favorite one from his stand-up in New York about modern-day technology is, talk about online, hell, your mom and dad, we used to do lines.
Yeah, like, and one of the things that made Williams so amazing.
Our friends were on Facebook, our friends were up the front door.
And kind of like, in a way, what The Simpsons has done for animated television is what Robin Williams is one of the people to do for comedy. He took things that really you couldn't talk about, and he just had at 'em.
Oh,
and
yeah.
He just went at 'em. And he was also a great movie actor. He also did,
Genie.
Aladdin, Good Morning Vietnam. Hell, he was.
That's one of my favorite.
Robots. Like, he did so many movies, and
Android.
It's not really often that a once-in-a-lifetime presence comes along like this. There's not many of them. And when one of them passes, and there was a lot of stuff that came out, and this is another rant for another day, but the way information is traveled in the social media world it is inaccurate. It is too fast. There are so many assumptions.
Yeah.
And, you know, you heard reports that...
there's been rumors about celebrities' death, and I agreed with what a certain somebody here that we work with said on Facebook. He said, it's got to be a rumor. It's got to be a rumor. But when the news broke, when you have ABC confirming it, because at first what I do, folks, if I hear it on Facebook, I make sure that ABC, CNN, Fox News is saying the same thing first.
It's funny you say that.
Before I say, okay, it's got to be true, if ABC, before I believe it. But if one simple website saying he's dead and nobody else is saying it, it's been rumored, because rumors going around last year that Will Smith died and a whole bunch of other stuff.
Well, every
Eddie
day
Murphy.
there are celebrity death hoaxes every day, and part of one of the great things about a source like Twitter, so you can get that confirmation faster. But with one of the great things comes one of the negative things. A lot of bad things come out. And it came out that after a while that he was suffering from the first few stages of Parkinson's disease, which is really, really tough to see. Michael J. Fox is suffering from Parkinson's
actually, if you go through and watch some of his shows, you could somewhat see the signs.
But then you heard reports that his show on CBS getting canceled is what did it. And it's when somebody takes their life in such a tragic form, don't speculate. I hate speculation surrounding death. I like facts. I don't like saying, well, because his show got canceled and he was suffering from Parkinson's disease. You know what? Robin Williams was a great comedian, and a lot of people, you can't understand how good of a comedian he was. But for a lot of people, it was a sad day. And
it was.
Celebrity deaths, unless if you actually, I didn't actually know the guy personally. I never met the guy. A lot of people never met the guy. But the influence he's had, some of the comedians that I am major fans of now are directly tied to the fact that Robin Williams, and other comedians were willing to cross that line. We're able to make that joke. And people I'm laughing at now, look at a guy like Dane Cook. He has some terrible jokes, but you couldn't do that in front of a big arena back in the 60s, 70s, 80s. And
nowadays, who cares? You can do
and that's another thing about Joan Rivers, too, as we talk about these two, is Rivers was not afraid of going after people.
Oh, no. She could never keep her mouth shut.
And but it made her funny.
Oh, yeah.
And it's those people who are brave enough to go after them, to go after people, Any person can make a stupid joke,
Yeah.
Not to harp on a guy like Jeff Dunham, but anybody can pick on Walmart. Anybody can pick on this. There are certain topics that everyone could, you could make a 60-minute special, you could make people laugh for 60 minutes about any topic, there's certain, but the way these people were able to take something so taboo like drug use and turn that into something funny, but make you think wow, that's tragic, that's bad, that's hilarious, true. It's true, it's funny, but in another light, it's just so amazing, and it really strikes a chord for a lot of people. But that's pretty much what I have to say about that. Do you have anything else you'd like to mention?
Do you want to hit the not about Robin Williams' death? Other than, I totally agree with you. One of my all-time favorites movies to this day is Good Morning Vietnam. It's one of my favorites. And his doing the genie in Aladdin. That's what a lot of young kids would recognize him.
That's another thing. He knew he had such an audience. You had 5-year-olds to, my little sister who's 13 knew of Robin Williams a lot because of movies she's done for kids.
Here's a little tidbit about Disney fact here, guys. In the movie Robin Williams, they did the voice, then they did the genie, animated genie. Some people were saying behind the scenes that he had so many versions of the genie that they were literally had to cut it off in half because he was going on so much rants. You literally have to tell him, "Hey, calm it down, calm it down." At one point, they said, "Hey, this is G, keep the cussing down." But yeah, that was him. I mean, he would just go off. He had no filter whatsoever.
Yeah, it's it is what it is.
It is what it is.
it's just one of those things where, you know, you can say it's just sad. That's all it is. It is just sad. So
Yeah, it is.
that being said, we're going to move into our break. We have a PSA, right?
Yeah.
We're going to move into our PSA, and we will be back in just a few moments.
In ancient Rome, the gladiators went into the arena with these words on their lips: "Let me win. But if I cannot win, let me be brave in the attempt." Today, all of you young athletes are in the arena. Many of you will win. But even more important, I know you will be brave and bring credit to your parents and to your country.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, and like always, be a fan, be a supporter. Support the Special Olympics in any way possible. It is such a great organization, and Darren and I were talking offset. I am doing the Penguin Pledge this year. Enosburg Falls High School sends a team up to Newport, not Lake Champlain, you know, just up to Newport, and, you know, I'm doing it this year. I couldn't do it last year. I was sick. I'm very excited, and it's just supporting such a great cause. And what do we have going on for Special Olympics?
Yay,
This fall?
Dustin's doing the Penguin Plunge. Do you think I'm going to be doing it?
Do it. Come on, Darren. So what do we have going on for fall events for Special
Fall
Olympics?
events this month is pretty much going to be soccer and bowling, and both tournaments is later on next month. One's in Norwich, one's down in South Burlington. Please come on down, join us, and support us as always. Be a fan, be a supporter, support your local Special Olympics. As always, volunteer whenever you can.
So we are going to move on now to Applepalooza. But first, I did want to mention something on the side. I went to the South End Art Hop. There's another public access station down there called VCAM. They had a little thing. I started there, walked up, and one of the cool things I was able to get with these Ben & Jerry's glasses. I've already put them on once in the show. They trippy, but they legit. It was a really fun night, and the Art Hop is something that next year I'm going to go again. And, you know, I have a lot of photos that I took. GMO Right to Know stuff, photos in a photo booth from Resource. Just a great thing. Great community event. And it's pretty much what I have to say about that. So moving on to Applepalooza. Today, Tuesday, September 9th, was Apple's big
announcement.
They announced everything today that they were doing. What are the highlights, Darren?
Mostly the highlights. Okay, one, as we all know, pretty much what was rumored was true. First rumor that there will be a new iPhone 6. Yes, there was. There was an iPhone 6. This one has rounded edges, which means no longer it's. If I can see your phone.
Yes, you can hold my phone up. Go for it.
All right. The edges are going to be rounded off instead of this nice blocky cell phone. Some people say it actually looks like this, and someone just sat on it.
Really?
Yeah. It's thinner. It's the edge is a little rounded off. It's a lot faster though than the iPhone 4S and the 5. And the iPhone 6 is going to be 4.7 inches. The 6 Plus, what they call the iPhone 6 Plus, is about 5.5 inches big.
Really? That's interesting. So what do you think of Apple's announcement today?
We have Retina display, HD display. I think it was pretty promising. I mean, there's a lot of neat stuff. I think finally Tim Cook is, and I agree with a lot of the critics, Tim Cook finally gotten out of Steve Jobs'
shadow
and is taking the reins on his own and is actually keeping the tradition alive. I mean,
Really?
he's done a lot for a lot more. Apple's finally basically gotten himself kicked in the pants and got going again. We've got a lot of good stuff coming out for him.
Yeah, so totally not having to do with Apple. I just found, GMO had a little, Ben & Jerry's had a GMO booth. That's my photo.
Area man.
I wore my Area Man shirt to our hop. I don't know if the camera can see that, but I took a photo in the booth. My Facebook caption will be Area Man supports local cause. I just saw Ben & Jerry's just uploaded those to Flickr today. So I am personally extremely excited. So carry on.
Okay.
Apple, stuff, watch, phone, cool.
Better, it's going to have better performance. It's going to be 50 times faster than the original on speed, 84 times faster when it comes to video production.
Really?
Yeah, when you're swiping it, it's going to be 84 times faster. It will recover 84 times faster than the original. It's going to have better performance, equal to better battery life than the iPhone 5.
I find this
Up
kind
to
of funny.
55 hours on when you're listening to music.
I find that funny because you know what? A lot of Apple's been taking a lot of crap from Samsung in those Galaxy ads. My Galaxy's better. My Galaxy's better. My Galaxy's better. And it's kind of like they came out and said, "What? We're gonna, what's up?" And they were just like, "Samsung want to shut you down."
And then they needed to. They
needed to because Apple was starting to.
They're showing. I'm looking at some of the live feed that they showed earlier. They were showing some of the pictures that they were showing, and
Really?
oh my God, that they were taking off that camera.
I had a friend Snapchatting me. It was really nice to see. He was excited. He was
Well, I'm trying to look for the battery life. Well, anyways, it's going to have faster Wi-Fi. The new one, the AC, Wi-Fi AC,
really.
built in. It's supposed to be 3 times faster. And here's a new feature, folks. Are you sick and tired of dropped signals where you can't find your cellular phone data, but you got plenty of Wi-Fi? Well, guess what, folks? You can now make a phone call on it, which is great.
Sorry. We need the applause effect.
I'll add that later. And the camera is going to be 8 megapixels, but they say it's they're going to have a better shutter speed and all that,
I actually find that it's kind of funny when you think about it because it's just the fact that best example, I'm trying to think of the best example. The best example I can use here is that I have a friend who lives in Berkshire. No service at all. Has Wi-Fi at her house. Now, with my iPhone, if I had the iPhone 6, I would be able to call people from her house on my phone, which is really nice because a lot of the time your Wi-Fi is better than your cell service up in this area.
Yeah, I don't know if it's iPhone 6 or if it's just because
it'll just be iPhone 6.
Okay, yeah. Like I said, I didn't know if it was iPhone 6 or they're going to put it on iOS only. But if you, like you said, iPhone 6, oh my God.
And it'll be a ploy to make you get the iPhone.
No, they said it will be added to iPhone 6 or iPhone iOS 8 in October on iPhone 6 use only.
And another thing about the iPhone will be the iPhone 5S, the iPhone 6, and the iPhone 6 Plus.
iPhone C is now free.
That's because the iPhone C is just an iPhone 5 on the inside. So
and I guess what I'm thinking about
getting one,
dumping that 8 gig 4.
Yeah. Well, the last big thing I wanted to cover about Apple, and I have to get going because I have a party to go to.
The Apple Watch.
The Apple Watch. What do you think? What do you think?
Cool, neat. Would like to try it, but other than that, nah. Would love to try it just to see what it looks like. But
I find the Apple Watch interesting. It looks like it'll be really cool. It syncs with your iPhone, right?
Yeah, it syncs with your iPhone, syncs with your computer, syncs with anything you want. They're going to have 3 different sizes.
You're going to be able to put it on your wrist and pay with your credit card, which is awesome.
Yep. they had an iPay, which is basically you can do anything you want, or you can have your credit card on your phone, and you can have authorization for like an hour or 2 hours to swipe your card, and then after that, you can't use that card again until you get reauthorized.
That's interesting. I like that.
And
I think it'll be interesting. I think it'll be cool.
And it's no more typing in credit card numbers, no more typing anything. All you do is scan your card, you go click, take a picture of your credit card, and you got your credit card right there. And the great thing about that is if you lose your phone, you can easily turn it off same thing as Find My iPhone. You know how that feature on Find My iPhone, you can turn off your iPhone and lose your data. You don't have to worry about people using your data or your phone again. It works with your credit card.
That's a nice thing to have.
So as soon as you lose you lost your phone, it's like, oh crap, there goes your phone, you can't use it.
That's interesting. So
yeah, they're going to have 3 sizes, the regular watch, the sports edition, the Executor edition.
Executor
edition, which is basically the bling bling watch.
Bling, 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 bling.
It's a gold watch. Will work with iPhones 5 up to 6. Starting price at $349. Retailed out early 2015.
Wow. So we will have a lot more. Is there anything else you want to cover on today's show?
No, like he said, we'll have a lot more. Oh, you use the use the little winder to select through your apps.
Nice.
Other than that, no, they're going to add more health features and stuff like that to it. Health and fitness features. They got like sensors on the back of it, but other than that, that's pretty much it.
So we will have a lot more on our next Tech for Dummies. I'm sorry to cut this show short, audience. I have prior engagements that I have planned that I didn't know about till today. So is there anything you would like to say before we?
No, that's it. We can cover the rest of it. I can put that one up next show.
We'll take that on our next show. We'll have a lot more. We'll have some iCloud. We'll have the iCloud hack. We'll talk about that once it's all settled and done. And some good video game and album reviews.
Another album review. I know one.
Yeah, I know. So this has been Tech for Dummies. I've been your host, Dustin Tanner. Darren, do your sign off, sir.
As always, thanks for watching. Watch us on YouTube under Tech for Dummies. Follow us on techfordummies.com. Tech for Dummies 1 at blogger.com and wordpress.com. As always, thanks for watching. Good night.